Yo, what is up guys, it's me Zachary and welcome to day 11 of the 2017-2018 NBA season. The Orlando Magic, exactly what is going on here with the Orlando Magic? See, normally when I say that, it's because they did something dumb, like leak their entire offseason plans, including free agent targets and possible trade targets on a whiteboard for the entire world to see. But this time, I mean it in a good way. The Magic are now 4-1 on this season and are looking like they should be considered one of the best teams maybe in the entire NBA right now. And I know some of you are getting ready to say it's too early in the season to say that, and you're right, it is too early to say that they will keep this up the entire year, but I'm just saying that they completely blew out the Cleveland Cavaliers a couple of games ago. And then last night they did the same exact thing to the San Antonio Spurs. 114-187, and the game was pretty much over a couple minutes into the first quarter. Yes, the Spurs were missing a bunch of wide open shots they would normally make. I don't think there will be too many times where we see them go 4 of 24 from beyond the arc and barely shoot 30% from the field. But regardless of how badly the Spurs are playing, the Magic were still playing really good. The Magic played a great game. I thought at both ends of the floor they were a great aggressive team. I thought we were very sloppy, but I think their game plan was great. Coach Vogel did a good job of taking us out of what we wanted to do, and they did it for 48 minutes. So I think they outplayed us in just about every factor of the game. That's what Greg Popovich said about the Magic after the game yesterday, and come to think of it, I don't think it's too much of a surprise. The Magic are just now finally starting to click. Frank Vogel is a heck of a coach. He was the guy who was the defensive mastermind behind the Indiana Pacers team a few years back that gave the Miami Heat so much trouble. As for the players, the Magic have some really talented young guys. Aaron Gordon, Nikola Vucevic, Elfrid Payton, who has been dealing with a minor injury for the past couple of games, and Evan Fournier, who has low-key been playing extremely well so far this season. It's just before this year, they could never really play together. However, now they're playing unselfish basketball as well as some pretty good defense. Vucevic and Gordon both expanding their range to the three-point line this offseason really helps, because now every single player on the court is a threat to knock down an open shot. You combine that with the ball movement they use in their offense and you have a really dangerous offensive team. Then they also have some pretty good depth as well. DJ Augustine, who has been starting the past couple of games, would normally be coming off the bench. He's only starting right now because Elfrid Payton is out. He's one of the better backup point guards in the NBA. You have Jonathan Simmons, who has been amazing for Orlando so far this season off the bench. Sheldon Mack, another solid point guard off the bench. Bismack Biyombo, for when you need like shot blocking and rebounding. The young guy Jonathan Isaac, who is still very raw but shows promise. A bunch of quality, unselfish guys. That's the key to Orlando right now. Like I said, they are 4-1 on the year. It's still too early to officially label them one of the best teams in the East, but it's good to see them playing so well right now, to be honest, and hopefully they can keep it up. The Wizards had a double-digit lead the entire game for the most part. John Wall was setting up Otto Porter Jr., who just might be the best catch-and-shoot player in the NBA, by the way. Dude is shooting 50% from 3 right now. And also Kelly Oubre Jr., who was knocking down his outside shot. Speaking of shots and knocking down stuff like that, pretty big moment of the game when Draymond Green and Bradley Beal got into it late in the second quarter. You couldn't really tell exactly what happened because it all happened so fast, and then there was just a pile of players on and around them trying to separate them, but it looked like Beal was kind of choking Draymond Green. Couldn't really see anything that Draymond did besides try and get Beal off him. I don't know. Both players were then ejected for fighting. After that, the Wizards continued to lead in the third quarter. They had a lead as big as 18, but Curry hit a couple of free throws and a couple of threes in the final minutes of the third quarter to get the lead only down to 10. Started the fourth, KD and Thompson both hit a quick couple of three-pointers, and bang, it's only a 4-point game. An 18-point lead really wiped out in like less than 5 minutes of play. That is crazy, and that's what's so scary about the Golden State Warriors. Even when you're up by like 15 to 20 points, if there's more than 2 or 3 minutes left in the game, you just don't feel safe, because you know your lead can be gone in the blink of an eye. And once the lead is gone, the game is pretty much over, which is what happened last night. Golden State came back from 18 down to get the 120-117 win over Washington. KD with 31 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists. Curry had 20 points, 8 assists, and 5 rebounds, as Wall finished with 20 points and 14 assists for Washington. Welcome back to Jimmy Butler. And can we all just take a second to pray that these two teams meet in the playoffs this year, because that would be an amazing 7-game series. You guys remember the last time these two teams met? Andrew Wiggins won the game with a buzzer beater. After the game though, the NBA basically came out and said that the Thunder should have won the game because the refs missed a couple of key calls in the final 2 minutes, including Karl Anthony Towns setting a legal screen on Paul George to free up Andrew Wiggins for the shot. But that was last game. This is this game, and like I said, welcome back Jimmy Butler. He was out with the illness for the Wolves' last 2 games, and without him, they kind of started playing like the Wolves from last year. They need Butler back on the court for his leadership, because let's face it, he is the guy that's going to be the main reason this team is able to win games right now. He was able to get that Chicago Bulls team to a 500 record last year pretty much by himself. You look at the Bulls roster they have right now, and it's not that much different from last year's roster at all, except you took out Jimmy Butler and D Wade and I guess Rajon Rondo too. So Butler was able to win with almost nothing around him. Now he's got some actual talent, and they are winning when he plays. And he carried them down the stretch last night big time, scoring 14 points in the 4th quarter, including 9 points in the final 4 minutes to get the Wolves a narrow 119-116 win over OKC. Butler had his best game of the year with 25 points, 7 assists, and 5 rebounds, and Towns also had his best game of the year, scoring 33 points and grabbing 19 rebounds. This is starting to look like the Wolves team that we all envisioned heading into the season. As for the Thunder, I really still think their bench is the Achilles heel. I guess it's better than it was last year, but it's still far from being the best. Westbrook, Adams, George, and Melo, all those guys played really well, scoring over 20 points each. And I think the other guys just need to figure out what it is they can do to help the team win when they're on the court. This Rockets team takes way too many threes. 57 attempts last night, 57. They start taking more and more every single year, I swear. In a couple of years, the only shots they put up that aren't threes will come from the free throw line, and even then, I think they're going to start shooting their free throws from the 3-point line, because they will have completely forgotten how to shoot anything closer than a 3-point shot. But when you shoot that many threes and you make at least a decent amount of them, you're going to be hard to beat. The Rockets hit 22 of their 3-point attempts last night. Ryan Anderson and Eric Gordon hitting 6 apiece to claim the 109-93 win over the Hornets. Anderson with 21. Gordon continues his impressive play on the year with 26, and James Harden was James Harden last night as he had a triple-double of 27 points, 11 assists, and 10 rebounds. Howard had 19 points and 16 rebounds, and Walker scored 26 for Charlotte, and the Rockets are now 5-1 on the season. James Harden wasn't the only player to have a triple-double last night though. Kyle Lowry, it seems like it's a bit of a tradition for him to get off to a slow start shooting the ball every single year. It happened last year, the year before that, and probably even the year before that too, and it is also happening this year as well, as he continued to struggle to shoot the ball. Only 4 of 14 from the field for 11 points, but even though he didn't shoot well, he did everything else extremely well. He kind of went Lonzo Ball on Lonzo Ball. 12 assists and 10 rebounds to go with those 11 points, as the Raptors, who trailed at halftime, took control of the game in the second half to beat the Lakers 101-92. Kyle Kuzma continues to be one of the most consistent players for LA, as he had 15 points and 10 rebounds off the bench. As soon as people start saying the Nets might be better than we all think this year, after they pulled out an impressive win over the Cavs to have a 3-1 record on the year, they turn around and let something like this happen, getting blown out by the New York Knicks. D'Lo, I would have shot more if I were you last night. You were really the only guy on the Nets who could make a shot last night, but you only shot the ball 10 times. Be like Porzingis. He recognizes that if the Knicks are going to have any chance of winning any games whatsoever this year, then he's going to have to go out there and dominate every single game, just like he did last night. Another 30-point game for Porzingis, as well as 9 rebounds and 3 blocks. And that Frank kid, Frank Ntilikina, saw the floor for his second time in his career last night. 9 points and 5 assists and 23 minutes off the bench. But like, what are you doing, New York? Start the kid. Like, why are you starting Jared Jack over him? You guys are going to be terrible this year anyways. Why not let the rookie get as much playing time as possible? 107-86 was the final score. Well, scary game if you're a Nuggets fan, as you guys had to watch your favorite team struggle to be one of the worst teams the NBA has ever seen. This shouldn't have even been much of a game at all, but somehow it was. Thankfully though for Denver, I hear Nikola Jokic and Gary Harris are pretty good. Jokic had his first all-around Jokic-like game this year with 18 points, 15 rebounds, and 5 assists, and I knew it was only a matter of time before he got back to his old self, while Gary Harris also chipped in 18. Dennis Schroeder Butler returned for the Hawks after missing the past couple of games with a tweaked ankle to score 20. But that wraps up all the action from last night though. You guys can go vote for the player of the day by following the link down in the description box below. Just remember that only players whose team won are eligible to win player of the day. And yesterday, you guys selected DeMarcus Cousins and his 41 points, 23 rebounds, and 6 assists as your player of the day. Thank you guys so much for watching though. Make sure you like the video and subscribe for more daily NBA highlights as well as daily NBA news. Got that video coming up in a few hours, so make sure to stay tuned for that. But I guess I'll see you guys then. Peace.